This chart right here is going to tell you everything you need to know about your relationship. And this can be romantic, it can be friendship, it can be father-daughter, it can be business, and it's going to show you exactly what kind of energies are present in your relationship. You can either generate one of these on my website, or if you have Neutrino Design, which I highly recommend you get, you can create as many infinite versions of you and your mom, you and your boyfriend, you and your friend, you and your business partner, whatever. On Neutrino Design, they'll be accessible whenever, and you can also tap on all of this information to get descriptions about the stuff. But let's just look on the surface, like, what is this going to tell me? Well, first of all, let's just decode what's here. Everything in the green on the body graph, that's going to be coming from me. Everything on the yellow is going to be my buddy Pasha. One of the first things that I'm going to look for is points of electromagnetic connection. So here we have the green 48 coming from my chart and this 16 in yellow coming from Pasha's. This completes a channel. On my own, I have the depth without necessarily the skills. On his own, Pasha has the skills without necessarily the depth. When we're together, there is a connection between the spleen, center of immune system, health, thriving, bodily awareness, and the throat, the manifestation center. When Pasha and I are in each other's auras, meaning we're in a space together, we're within 10 feet of each other's physical bodies, this electromagnetic channel goes live, which means that I can bring a level of depth to Pasha's skills, and that Pasha can bring a level of skills to my depth. This is us teaming up. Now, this can be expressed in a very healthy way, in the sense that when we're together, we work on this channel right here. This one is known as the channel of the wavelength. It's about expressing talent, expressing logical information, intuitive information from the spleen up into the throat. This is why sometimes it's easier to bring your thoughts into words, or speak on how you feel in your body, or speak about your emotions with certain people. It's because of these energetic connections. Now, the distorted version of this is where codependency comes in, where I need Pasha in order to develop any skills, or Pasha needs me in order to develop any depth with the skills that he's cultivating. When someone comes along and hooks you up, it's temporary because that person is not always with you. However, when you're in a situation like you're sharing the same bed as someone, or you're having sex a lot, or you just never leave each other's side, your bodies start to confuse this with your own individual self and your friend or your partner, whoever else's individual self. When people say things like, I don't want to lose myself in a relationship, they're talking about the distorted expression of these electromagnetic channels. They could also be talking about the distortion of the compromised channels, which you can see here in this 31-7. Make myself tiny real quick. This 31-7, this is called the channel of the alpha. The 31 is the influence. The 7 is army, or like the loyalty or the identity and the plan that then gains influence. Pasha has that entirely as a channel. I only have the 31 hanging, which means that me and Pasha might struggle over this 31, over the who is actually doing the influencing, who is leading this thing. But if we're aware that, oh, there's a compromise here, when we run into that conflict of like, who's leading, who's the 31, who's got the 31, who's got the authority, instead of bickering and fighting about it or having it be an unconscious, quote unquote, problem in our relationship, we can just look at this compromise. We can start to ask ourselves real questions like, who actually is the best suited to lead in this situation, rather than this unconscious kind of competition between, for me as the person with the hanging gate, finally feeling like, I've got the plan, I've got the influence, the channel is active, but it's not because of me, it's because of me and somebody else. So something that I highly recommend for you is get Neutrino Design, or go on my website, reikimarco.com, plug in your body graph, and then pick somebody you love that you're spending a lot of time with, and start to pay attention. If you scroll down on the app here, you'll actually be able to tap these channels, the compromised channels, the electromagnetics channels, the dominant channels. That's where one person has a channel that the other person doesn't. And this app, Neutrino Design, will just tell you about it. Now, it's not enough to just have it up in your head. You have to be like an investigator and look at your life and look at your relationships through this lens. You can't just trust this lens. A lens, again, is something that you look through to see something else clearer. The lens alone, it's just a lens. You actually have to know what to focus on, which is your relationships. Don't wait another second. Go get Neutrino Design or go to my website and start looking at your composites. I swear it will save you so much time, so much energy, money, heartbreak, all that stuff to just start to learn this. And of course, if you want help, you can see my calendar and my website, and you and me can have a conversation, and I will tell you all about you and your boyfriend, you and your girlfriend, etc.